Alright, mic check. Alright, family, I'm Brother Allen from Vineyard of Israel. This is my reader, Brother Lawrence. We coming to you and just hopes. We don't normally do it at this time, but we got celebrations arising and we got feasts coming up. So we want to make sure that we recognize and realize that the feasts of God are more than just religious celebrations. Right? They're more than just holidays. So we want to put the message out to make sure that we get in the right mind frame. Right? Because we want people to realize that, it's about, you have celebration and fun, and you cook and offer your sacrifice to the Lord or whatnot, but it's more than just feasting, and celebrating and drinking and being merry. The Passover, which we're approaching, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, these are times that's real serious to the Lord. This is a time of judgment, and this is a day of death. Right? And the Lord is requiring us to be in the right mind frame. He's requiring us to purge ourselves. So we want to come into the feast with a purged mind, with a clean mentality, a renewed mind. That's why it's at the beginning of the year when things start to renew and come back to life. Right? So this is what we want to put our mind, what we want to focus on. A lot of times Israel, we lose focus. We can't walk and chew bubble gum. We can't. So that's what we want to, push out to the people. Stay focused on what the real purpose is. Right. This man came and he did something for us that we couldn't do for ourselves. He redeemed. He paid the price with his own blood, and it cost. So we need to keep that in remembrance. It's more than about eating and drinking, like what Paul was telling you. Eat and drink at home. Right. Then when we come together in the Lord's name, we need to remember the works of his hands, because he had a problem with Israel because of that. He hated their feast because they were just more concerned with eating and drinking, and they wasn't concerned with the work of his hands. Right. So we want to take time out and just push this message. I wanted to do it on a Sabbath day, but it kind of got away from me. So we got a few days to prepare. So that's what we titled this, Prepare to Passover. And I'm not going to be long, 20, 30 minutes, but I want you to prepare your mind to get ready to partake in this Passover. Purge yourself. Wash. Be clean. Right. Because you're going to see, you have to be in the right mind frame. The Lord is requiring you to examine yourself before you even partake in the death of his, in the breaking of bread and the drinking of in his body, in other words. Right. So you don't want to do this unworthily. And that's the point what I'm trying to make, saying all that to say that. So let me start out at Isaiah the 5th chapter, because I just want to show you how the Lord feels when we just be more concerned with the physical aspect. This is a time when we need to purge our mind and our conscience from all dead weight, all sin, all grudges that you're holding on to. That's right. If you're a child of Yah, you should be holding on to this stuff throughout a whole nother year. Right. Or a lot of stuff you got to learn to let go, like he do. Like cast it into the sea of forgiveness. A lot of things we hold on to ain't good. It's going to end up eating you alive. It's a root of bitterness within you. Right. Satan's just waiting to grab a hold to him, and he's going to make it spring up and become something big. Right. So we want to purge and stomp that out before we make it to that point. That's right. Right? But we need to realize the Passover is a holy time. And you need to purge your mind. You need to purge yourself and get right before you just start partaking in this. So that's what we want to start out with. Let's get Isaiah the 5th chapter. I'll take verse 11.
Isaiah 5:11 reads, Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning.
To do what?
That they may follow strong drink.
Right. The Lord, he already said we can have strong drink at the feast. We don't have a problem with that. But the thing about it is, He like, this is the first thing on their mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't wait to get the lesson over with so we can just get to that drink, right?
Yeah.
So we can lose our mind. Now we lose focus on what the real day is about, the purpose of the day. Go ahead.
They continue until night.
Yeah, all day, all night, right? Go ahead.
Till wine inflame you.
Yes. And overtake your mind. Go ahead.
And the heart, and the vial, and the tabret, and the pipe, and the wine are in their feast.
See, he talking about Israel's feast.
Yep.
He ain't talking about no holidays. He talking about Israel's feast, but he let you know he have a problem with it, and he gonna explain to you further why. But people are putting this stuff in your mind, you know, what you mainly concerned about. Right? Go ahead and read.
But they regard not the work of the Lord.
That's the purpose of the feast. Right? He give every feast means something to the Lord. And when we come to it, he said we don't even regard the work of the Lord. We don't remember what it's really about. We just worried about the partying aspect of it.
Right.
All right. That's what he's concerned with. That's why he has a problem or issue with Israel. Go ahead.
Neither consider the operation of his hands.
Then we don't even consider what he did.
Right.
Why? Right. Who he did it for.
Right.
So that's what he wants us to realize. You know, coming to right from, and look what he said he's going to do because of it. Go ahead.
Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
Why?
Because they have no knowledge.
See, you know the feast is in the Passover. You know it's about his death, burial, and resurrection, but you soon forget about it once you start feasting.
Right.
Come on.
And the honorable men are famished.
Yes.
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
Go ahead. Thirst means you lacking the spirit.
Right.
You dried up. You longing for the spirit, but you don't have it. Go ahead, last verse. Go ahead.
Therefore hell hath enlarged herself.
And that's where we at with it. Hell is a state of condition. Hell for us looks like Jacob's trouble. We always in trouble on every side.
That's right.
Huh? Nothing good is happening, and when it do, you just waiting on the bad to come behind it.
Right.
But this is because we don't regard the work of the Lord's hand. Neither do we consider, you know, the operation of his hand. We just worried about partying, drinking, singing, just like they were when they came out, but Moses brought them out of Egypt.
Yep.
You know, and all it was doing, they rose up to drink and play. That's all it was concerned about. But Moses up in the cloud, in the mountain, getting the 10 Commandments, getting the rules and regulations and guidelines to establish the whole nation. They just worry about partying and dancing.
Right.
So this is what we're gonna try to avoid. We're not gonna let that be our main focus. Right. First of all, we're gonna purge ourselves. You got to go deep within yourself and purge out everything that's not of the Lord. Line yourself up with the book before you even partake in it. So, right? Go ahead. That's it.
And open their mouth without measure.
Yes.
And their glory in their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
That's right. He that rejoices, because remember he was talking about the feast, and you just partying and drinking. You know, he said, since you're not worried about that, hell has enlarged yourself, open up mouth to swallow you up.
Right.
And your glory, and the multitude. That's a lot of people. And your pomp. He said, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. Right? So we want to make sure our goal is to purge ourselves before we partake in this Passover.
Right.
Purge your conscience from dead works. Right? Let's read that. Hebrews the 9th chapter. Hebrews 9. So we dealing with the mind. We need you to let those old grudges and things go. Hebrews 9 verse 14. Go ahead and read.
Hebrews 9 and 14.
Yes.
How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God.
See, that's what you got to realize. You couldn't do that.
Right.
So he came and did something that you couldn't do. He took your place. He offered. He didn't have to do it. He offered, right? He offered himself to God without spot and without blemish. Go ahead.
Purge your conscience from dead works.
See, and you knowing that, right? You should take that and be grateful and thankful, right? And that should purge your conscience from dead works. Dead works is sin. The wages of sin is death. Right? So your conscience have to be clean and purged from dead works to do what?
To serve the living God.
To serve the living God. Right? Hebrews 12:1. Hebrews 12:1. So there's some things you must do within yourself before you partake in this. Right? Hebrews 12:1. Listen to what it says. Hearken to the scripture.
Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight.
Look at what he's saying. Lay it aside. Set it down. Leave it alone. Get rid of it. Go ahead. Every weight and
the sin which does so easily beset us.
So he knows it's all around us. But he's saying, yeah, still you need to lay that down. It's all around, but lay it down. Go ahead.
And let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
That's right. Run with patience the race. That's the lifespan.
Right.
That's the walk. You understand? But you need to run it with patience. But you have to lay aside every weight. Lay aside every sin that so easily besets you. Right? So your mind has to go through some purge. You have to clean yourself up. Right? Look what Paul said in Romans, the 12th chapter. Romans 12, verse 1 and 2.
Romans 12, verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren,
yes,
by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice.
See, I beseech you, I'm begging you, brother, that you, right? So this is a self-examination, right? That you present yourself to God. So you present yourself to the Lord. Right? He said as a living sacrifice. Go ahead.
Which is your reasonable service.
And this is reasonable for you to do. To be holy so that you can be acceptable. Go ahead.
And be not conformed to this world.
What I need to do.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that means you have to go and learn what the Lord requires out of you, out of his laws and his statutes.
Right.
And one of the things he required of you, we're going to read it, that you don't hold no grudges. That's a weight, a stronghold, a root of bitterness that's going to spring up within you. So you need to lay these things aside before you partake in this holy Passover. Go ahead.
But ye being transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
That's right. And the perfect will of God is for you to fear him and keep his commandments. He wants you to prove it. Right? Let's get 2 Corinthians, the 13th chapter. Be good. As a matter of fact, we're great when it comes to telling other people about their faults, their wrongdoings. But this is not that time. It's a time and place for everything. This time is a time for you to renew your mind, to get your mind right, to lay aside every weight and sin that's so easily beset you. Right? Verse 5.
2 Corinthians 13:5 reads, examine yourselves.
That's right.
Whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves.
Examine your mama.
Prove your own selves and examine your own selves whether ye be in the faith.
That's right.
Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates.
That's right. He said, prove it to yourself whether you be in the faith.
Right.
Examine your own self to know whether you in Christ or not. The Lord said, this is how you know you're in Christ, is if you walk as he walked. If you kept his commandments as he kept the commandments. And you offer yourself for sacrifice as he offered himself for sacrifice. You do what he did. He didn't hold grudges. He was full of forgiveness and long suffering. Right? The fruits of the spirit, not the works of the flesh. Right? We too busy trying to be old and new. You gotta make up your mind.
Right.
Just renew your mind. Right? Let's go Proverbs 16 right quick. Proverbs 16 verse 6. showing you how to purge. One way anyway. Proverbs 16, verse 6. Go ahead.
By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged.
That's right. By mercy. See, this is the thing Israel don't have. By mercy and truth. What is truth? The Lord say, thy word is truth. Right? Meaning the law, the Torah. You got to go back. Because it's going to teach you how to act. It's going to teach you how to live in harmony and peace. It's going to teach you how to get along with your neighbor and your brother, right, sister, and your God. Mm-hmm. Right? So he said, by mercy and by truth. And remember, however much mercy you mete out, that's how much you're going to receive. See, a lot of us holding on to stuff that's not even good for us. 10, 11 years old. Right, let that stuff go. It's going to eat you alive. By mercy and truth is what?
By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged.
Iniquity is purged. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're trying to do. Purge ourselves. Go ahead.
And by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil.
That's the only way you're going to depart from evil. Mm-hmm. If you don't fear the Lord, you're going to hear this lesson and you're still going to hold on to your grudge. You're still going to not prepare your mind to be clean and purged.
Right.
And you still going to do this, and on top of it, you're going to partake in the Lord's body, the bread, the dead. And he warned us against that. Mm-hmm. So we need to come into this feast with this right mind. Right. Let's go while we in Proverbs, hit me at Proverbs 21 and 27, and then let me get Proverbs 6 and 16. Proverbs 21 and 27. Because the man just told you present your body a living sacrifice. So you need to go and you need to dig out every root of wickedness that's within you. Every little bit of seed. And purge it out. Ask the Lord for help. By mercy and truth, he said. Verse 27, hearken to the scripture.
Proverbs 21 and 27 reads, the sacrifice of the wicked is abomination.
So if you don't come, you don't purge your mind, you offer your sacrifice, you preparing your meal, for the feast and everything, but you still got wickedness within you. He said, what?
He said, the sacrifice of the wicked is abomination.
Cain gave a sacrifice to the Most High God. The Lord didn't have respect to Cain. So don't you be like, hey, this is why it's important to purge yourself. Examine yourself. You got to keep it real with yourself. Turn the mirror on you, each and every one of us. If we can't examine ourselves, we're not going to make it.
Right.
You got to keep it real with you. So the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. Go ahead.
How much more when he bringeth it with the wicked mind?
Look at that. How much more when he bringeth with a wicked mind? So you got to go and dig deep and root out every little stem of bitterness and wickedness and malice. Paul's going to tell us in a minute. Back up to Proverbs 6. Because these things we looking to root out. Because we're going to learn these things the Lord hates. Verse 16.
Proverbs 6 and 16.
Yes, sir.
These 6 things doth the Lord hate.
What?
Yeah, 7 are an abomination unto him.
Right.
A proud look.
See, that's now you can be a proud look, proud of life, thinking you better than somebody else, and then you go bring your little sacrifice. You done brought it with a wicked mind. It's an abomination, right? Go ahead.
Lying tongue.
Look, you got to get that lying tongue about it. You got to purge yourself. Now, only you can purge yourself. Just stop lying. Tell the truth. The Lord told you about truth and mercy is iniquity purged.
Right.
Truth is the opposite of lying. Right, go ahead.
And hands that shed innocent blood.
And he hate that.
A heart that devises wicked imagination.
A mind that devises wicked imagination. That's why he destroyed the world with the flood. Said the minds of the people was evil continually. So these things that we have within ourselves, a lot of times we don't even realize it because you won't do the self-examination.
Right.
That's what it takes. Go ahead.
Feet that be swift and running to mischief.
That's right. Feet that be swift and running to mischief. He don't like that. Mischief can mean any kind of trouble, really.
Right.
You know, backbiting and having guile and deceit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and gossiping.
Right.
Right. All these things are subtle that you don't recognize. So you need to really order your conversation. Watch what you say. Right. Go ahead.
A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren.
Somebody sowing discord among brothers, that tear their family up.
Man.
You know, you can even do this with the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Sowing discord, somebody is always saying things that they know won't cause strife.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you do it in secret or in the open.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you saying things that's gonna cause problem between two people or more.
Right.
You know it's gonna cause problem. You do it anyway.
Right.
All right. You're not trying to be a peacemaker. You add to the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You're not looking for. We already got enough of that in Israel. We got enough liars. We got enough people that run swift to mischief. We got enough wicked imaginations. You know. We got enough people that shed innocent blood. We got enough people that look down on others. They got proud looks. We got enough of that. It's time out. The Lord is speeding things up.
Yes, sir.
It's time for you to get your mind right and get serious about this walk. Because if not, he going to expose us. So these things what we're looking to purge ourselves from, right? Let me get one more thing. Leviticus 19 and 18. Leviticus 19 and 18. Leviticus 19, verse 18.
Leviticus 19 and 18 reads, Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
You know, there's truth. This is how you purge iniquity. He said about mercy, because you're going to have mercy to not bear a grudge. And you learning this by way of the truth. The law is the truth. This word is written. Go ahead.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. It take a lot. Put yourself in his shoes,
Yes,
right?
sir.
What do verse 17 say?
Verse 17.
Man, in fact, he's 16.
16.
Yes.
Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor.
Yes.
I am the Lord.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
You know, because you know why? Jesus quoted this. He that hated his brother in his heart is a what?
A murderer.
A murderer.
Mm-hmm.
This is your heart, is your mind. This is where all the evil starts.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
That's right. Matthew the 15th chapter. Matthew 15. I'm finna get ready to shut it down, but I just gotta get a couple more scriptures. Because it's all about purging our mentality.
Right.
It's trying to serve the Lord in spirit and in truth. Right? Verse 17.
Matthew 15 and 17 reads, Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever enter in at the mouth and goeth into the belly, and it cast out into the drought?
That's right. You know, the body get rid of it automatically.
Right.
Go ahead.
But those things which proceed out of the mouth,
Where they come from?
Come forth from the heart.
That's right. They come from your mind.
Right.
Whatever you say, you have to think it first.
Right.
Go ahead.
And they defile the man.
They defile a man.
Wow.
So we looking to be purged. It starts in your mind.
Yes, sir.
Right? Clean it up. Go ahead.
For out of the heart proceeded evil thoughts.
That's right.
Murder.
Yes, sir.
Adultery.
Hold on. Murder is out of the heart.
Yes, sir.
Because you hate.
Yep.
It starts with hate.
Yeah.
You know, you got to purge it. Stomp it out.
Right.
Come on.
Adulteries.
Yes.
Fornications.
What else?
Thefts.
What else?
False witness.
And?
Blasphemies.
What happened?
These are the things which defile a man.
Yes.
But to eat with an unwashed hands defileth not a man.
Okay, so now, you know, he said these things defile a man.
Right.
So now it takes some soul searching. You got to look deep within to see where it is that you falling short. And I know you falling short somewhere because you haven't been translated.
Wow.
Right?
That's right.
So every man needs to look within himself and see what it is that you can purge out. Right? Because we got to keep the feast. But we need to keep it like Paul said, 1 Corinthians 5th chapter. 1 Corinthians 5. We come to the feast a lot of times, you know, and we really do forget the real purpose, especially once we start eating and drinking, right? Right. You forget to keep it holy. You got to keep this thing holy. It's more than about eating and drinking.
Right.
The Passover is the day that God brought His judgment down. When the first one happened in Egypt, He brought judgment upon all the firstborns. If you didn't have that blood on your doorpost, judgment hit your firstborn. That's death. That's God's judgment. Same thing with His Son. He sent Him, right, to do something for you that you couldn't do for yourself. His blood was shed. He had to die. And it wasn't a light thing to God. So you got to get your mind right.
That's right.
Start at verse 6. This is 1 Corinthians 5 and 6. Talk to the scripture.
Your glorying is not good.
Yes, sir.
Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump?
You know, leaven is represented by sin.
Right.
Huh? This is where Paul got this from the law.
Right.
He got the concept and idea. Mm-hmm. He said a little, you the lump, right? You the whole lump. If you got a little leaven within you, it's going to contaminate your whole body, your whole being. Mm-hmm. That's why it's time to purge and get rid of it. Go ahead.
Purge out there for the whole leaven.
That's right. So He gave us a physical act, but He really after the spiritual, the inside man. See, we're going to get all the leaven out of your house, right? But then that process, you doing that religiously, right? It's really pointing you to something bigger.
Right.
It's pointing you to get purge the leaven within yourself.
Right.
And that's the part we forget about a lot of time, most of the time.
Right.
And that's the main thing we need to remember. Purge out the leaven that is within you. I guarantee the Lord will be more satisfied than you purging out the leaven that's within you than you getting it out of your physical house.
So it's more than being symbolic.
Exactly. Purge out, therefore, the old leaven. Go ahead.
That ye may be a new lump.
That you may be a new lump. Renewing of the mind.
Right.
Go ahead.
As ye are unleavened.
And you supposed to be unleavened without sin. Come on.
For even Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us.
That's right. We supposed to walk while He walked, but go ahead.
Therefore let us keep the feast.
So we got to keep the feast.
Right.
Go ahead.
Not with the old leaven.
Not with that old leaven and old malice. You shouldn't come to the feast with this same old dirty mentality, same old dirty mind.
Right.
You shouldn't come to the feast still bearing grudges, still holding on to something that happened last year.
Right.
Huh? You shouldn't come to the feast with a proud look, lying tongue. Right? You got to purge to get rid of this stuff. It's time to grow up.
Right.
You got to grow in the faith.
Exactly. You
shouldn't come to the feast with being that same old mean, spiteful individual. Dealing with the malice, maliciousness, and wickedness. Because remember, the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. I'm going to get you back. You did this to me last year. I still ain't forgot. You still dirty. Do not partake in the Lord's body.
Right.
So I'm going to show you why. Go ahead.
But with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
See, that's what you got to do with the unleavened bread of sincerity
and
truth. The word is truth. The law is truth. Line yourself up with the law. We just read something in the law. Don't hold no grudge against your brother. Let it go. Right?
Right.
Love thy neighbor as thyself in the law. Don't be no murderer. Right? Go ahead. So sincerity and truth. Go ahead. According to the word of God, according to the law of God. Some like to say Torah. Same thing. Go ahead.
Verse 9.
Yes.
I wrote unto you in an epistle not to company with fornicators.
Yes.
Yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world, or with the covetous, or extortioners, or with idolaters, for then must he needs go out of the world.
Right. But he said, no, he talking about all of these wicked things that are in the world, but I really ain't talking about the ones in the world. I'm talking about the ones that's within the body. Go ahead.
But now I have written unto you,
for what?
Not to keep company. If any man that is called a brother be a fornicator.
So these things we're supposed to be purging ourselves from.
Right.
If you haven't, do not partake in this fat. Don't eat that bread and drink that wine. Go ahead.
A fornicator or a covetous or an idolater.
That's idolatry is big in Israel.
Yeah.
We don't even know we commit idolatry most of the time.
Yeah.
It's in your mind, Ezekiel 14 chapter. You gotta clear your mind. That's why the mind is everything. That's where the battle is.
Exactly.
You gotta purge your mind. You know, from all idolatry, being a fornicator, being covetous. You know, you don't need to desire things that other people have. You got 2 hands, 2 feet, a mouth, 2 eyes, and 2 ears. You can work just like he can or she can. Or if it ain't for you to get, the Most High must see that it's not good for you to have.
Right.
Right? Because the main thing you need to be focused on is salvation.
Right.
You only got a few years. Go ahead.
Or a railer.
Yes.
Or a drunkard. Or an extortioner.
Yes.
With such a one, know not to eat.
That's right. Because bad company
corrupt good manner.
Corrupt good manner. Let's go to the 11th chapter of 1 Corinthians, verse 23. So if you haven't purged yourself from those works, I would not partake in this Passover, meaning I would not eat. Because you have to examine yourself.
Right. That's powerful.
You know if you haven't purged yourself deep within. You can lie to us all day. We all look the same. But within your conscience bearing you witness, you know if you haven't purged yourself from these dead works. Right?
Oh, your offering is an abomination.
Exactly. It's worthless. Like the Romans say, it's abominable.
That's worse than worthless.
It really is. Verse, 23?
11 and 23.
Yes, sir.
Reads, for I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you.
So what did he receive from the Lord? The gospel.
Right.
The law, the statute, the commandment. Right? The testimony of Jesus. He said, I'm delivering it to you. Go ahead.
That the Lord Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread.
So he witnessing about Christ now, right? Testimony. Go ahead.
And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said,
what did he say?
Take,
yes,
eat. This is my body,
yes,
which is broken for you.
And what else?
This do in remembrance of me.
He said, you do this in remembrance of me. Right? To honor me, to remember what I did. Go ahead.
After the same manner, also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament in my blood.
Yes.
This do ye, as oft as ye drink it, in remembrance of me.
Right. This ain't saying do it often. No, it's an appointed time when we do this, which is the Passover. And he said, as often as you do it in remembrance of me. Go ahead.
For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup,
what happened?
Ye do show the Lord's death till he come.
That's right. You showing it. You remember. You honoring it. Go ahead.
Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord.
Now you know what? The Lord blood was innocent. So you're going to be guilty of innocent blood. So hold your spot right here. Pick me up on Deuteronomy 19. We're coming back. Deuteronomy 19, verse 10.
Deuteronomy 19 and 10 reads, that innocent blood be not shed in thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance.
And they shed innocent blood. Christ was innocent. Pilate testified to that. He washed his hands with it. And his blood was shed in the land. Go ahead.
And so blood be upon thee.
The blood be upon you.
Yep.
That's eye for eye, tooth for tooth. That means you shed innocent blood, your blood is going to be shed.
Right.
So you This will go back to 1 Corinthians now. So that's why we tell you, do not, let's purge your mind, do not examine yourself. Do not take this lightly. Right? Do not partake in this unworthily.
Right.
This will be the equivalent to the first Passover if you didn't put the blood on your doorpost. Death, right, is judgment for that. Punishment for partaking in the Lord's blood or body unworthily. That's why we tell you have to clean your mind. Purge yourself before you partake in this, right? So, verse 27 again. Go ahead.
27. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord.
So you're guilty of shedding innocent blood. You shed innocent blood, that blood is going to be upon you. You have just put a curse upon yourself.
Right.
The curse of innocent blood. Go ahead.
28.
Yes.
But let a man examine himself.
What did Paul say?
Let a man examine himself. Examine yourself.
Examine yourself, not your neighbor, not your husband, not your wife, not your yourself. Examine you. Go ahead.
And so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup.
You know, that's if you feel like you worthy,
right.
Then you partake in it. Go ahead.
For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself.
Look at that. That blood is on you.
Man.
It's serious. This is why we have to put this out. It's that serious. Go ahead.
Not discerning the Lord's body.
So you trample the blood, the body of Christ. It was
Right.
just a normal, regular little thing to you.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because you didn't take the time to purge yourself, to get your mind right, to get rid of all your dirt and filth. You came like Cain, dirty, filthy, you still partaking in something that's holy.
Right.
Right? The Lord is not prescribing that.
Right.
He said you got to discern the Lord's body, so you got to look within you and examine you. Right? Go ahead.
Right. For this cause many weak and sickly among you, and many sleep.
He said, for this reason, because you didn't discern the Lord's body, he said many people are sick and weak and sleep. That means dead.
Right.
For this reason alone. Because you didn't take the time out to examine your own self.
Right.
He letting you know how serious it is. Go ahead.
For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged.
Exactly. You judge yourself, then you won't have to worry about the punishment or being guilty when by being judged by the Lord. Go ahead.
But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord.
That's right. So go ahead.
That we should not be condemned with the world.
That's right, because he's going to chasten who he loves, but he's going to correct you. His chastising is for correcting, that you don't be condemned with the rest of the world. So you take that chastisement and you welcome it, and then you go on about your business. Go ahead.
Wherefore, my brethren, when ye come together to eat, tarry one for another. And if any man hunger, let him eat at home, that ye come not together unto condemnation, and the rest will I set in order when I come.
That's right. So the feast is more than about eating and drinking.
That's right.
That's the bottom line. The feast is more about eating and drinking.
Right.
Right. It's about knowing, and honoring the reason. The death, the blood in the body of Christ. And make sure you purge yourself. You don't partake in it unworthy, lest you be guilty of shed innocent blood.
Bring that blood yourself.
Yep. He said, for this reason, many are weak, and many are sick, and many sleep. So we need to realize this is not a joke. Get your mind right. Right. Let's end it off with Mark 12 chapter. Mark 12. Yeah, Mark 12, verse 29. Verse 29. Hearken to the scripture.
And Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
That's right.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul.
That's right.
And with all thy mind.
That's right. So now that means you got to purge.
Right.
You got to make yourself clean and presentable before God. You're supposed to love Him and fear Him. If you love Him, you'll fear Him. If you do that, you'll keep His commandments. You won't hold any grudges. You'll be purging yourself from all the filth and dirt that's around us. Right? Because He said this is what He required of you, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul. So more than just the physical aspect of feasting, and it's spiritually. That's the part we forget, your mind. Forget to clean ourselves up. We forget that it's a sacrifice that has to be made, that we partaking in. So the Lord wants us to be right before we partake in this. Right? Go ahead.
And with all thy strength.
Yes.
This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely this.
What?
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other greater commandment greater than these.
And these sum up the whole law.
Right.
Then examine yourself to see if you measure up to this. And then we can partake worthily in the Lord's Passover. So we need to prepare the Passover. Not just come to the Passover thinking it's a time of eating, drinking, and being merry. It's a serious occasion.
Right.
It's not a holiday. In the holidays, you know, that's what time it is. So I want to get us out of the mind frame of holiday behavior. It's a holy day. You prepare your mind for this. You prepare yourself, your body, your soul. You clean yourself up. And then we can enjoy like it's supposed to be done.
Right.
And then we can eat, drink, and be merry. Still with that on our mind. So I hope you got some understanding. Prepare to Passover. Not just partake in the Passover, but prepare the Passover. It's going to take some purging, and it's going to take some cleaning of the mind. So in Jesus' name, I thank you for your time. Amen.
Amen.